All right, so we have a 1984
BMW 633 CSI. Coming up on a birthday, actually in exactly a month. February 1st of 1984 it was born in West Germany.
So what is the symptoms of this problem that he just fixed?
So whenever you are accelerating and your heat turns cold, and then whenever you stop accelerating and your heat gets hot again, that's when you got it's like a little rubber gasket in the middle of the valve that gets pinholes over the years. So basically, once you accelerate, you're not pulling coolant through anymore. It closes it off. So basically the cold air will cool the heater core, and then once you let off of the load, it'll circulate back through, getting hot again.
Also, stay tuned, subscribe for other cars that we're going to be working on. We got a
Triumph TR6.
Triumph TR6.
And an Olds 442.
Oldsmobile 442. All right, and we also got a
79 Lincoln Continental Town Car.
So they're saying that this car was on Stranger Things. It was this recent.
It makes brief appearances in the background of seasons 3 and 4.
There we go. Okay. That looks like water.
It's green Gatorade.
Is it green? I can't tell through the camera. I was like, you running straight water?
Nah.
And we're using a 7mm.
The clamps, if it's the original clamp still, it's a 6mm for the clamps, and then 7mm is actually the bolts that hold the valve to the firewall. Our little plug-in, which apparently don't want to come off. There we go. So let's switch over to our 7. And begin the removal.
So why do you think people stop using 7s over time?
I mean, a 7 is so close to an 8. Like everything uses an 8 or a 10 nowadays. So
I mean, I can imagine you could put more torque on an 8
yeah,
than you can on a 7.
Yeah, this car's weird. It uses a lot of 6s, 7s. I mean, it's got some 8s, but it's mostly just kind of oddball size. It's got a lot of 10, of course, as any metric car does.
Yeah, 10s weren't invented yet.
Here is the beast.
It's actually bigger than I thought it was.
And it's actually, yeah, it's a plastic. It feels pretty heavy for what it is. But inside you might, which when we take it apart, but there's also a little screen in there as a filter.
So the part you ordered,
so what I ordered,
it's like a rebuild.
Yeah, it's a whole rebuild kit. So it comes with that little screen as well as a bunch of seals as well in there. It looks almost like someone's already been in here, because this is pretty, this is pretty jagged. So someone, I believe, has already been in here and cut something. So we'll see if they messed anything up inside or not as well. That torqued like a lug nut. Gingerly. Lovely. So here's a little screen and gasket. So we gotta pop this guy off. Alright. Oh, this thing is shot. So we already have a hole here and a hole here. And as I try to pull it,
Oh my god. How old do you think this piece is?
I'd say it's original to the car.
You think that one's original?
Yeah, so February of 1984. There we go. So that's what we're looking at.
Look how like
The screen's pretty clogged up too.
it's interesting how it wrinkles.
Yeah,
every
it
time.
is. That is weird.
I think it like expands or something. Like slowly.
Well,
expands.
it goes up and down to open and close. I can't really mimic it on this one anymore because it's shot, but I mean it moves in and out. Ideally,
What is that?
Ideally,
Oh, that's a spring.
I'd like to replace that while I'm in here, but I don't know.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, but I don't know how that goes on and off. Unless, is it just rusted shut, or is it actually got a retainer somewhere? No, it's just it's literally rusted shut.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Is it supposed to come out like that? I'm assuming you did some research beforehand.
Not really.
That's the proper way to do it. Okay, I'm getting somewhere.
There we go. All right.
Is that like the coil?
So, yeah, that's because you got your electrical connection on it. So this is okay. We might clean it up a little bit, but it's it may have seen better days, but it's still functional by all means. So we'll give him a little clean before we finish up. From now, we'll go to the side, and we'll take care of this nasty guy. And give this a little clean as well. Now, this actually comes out as well. It's also, it's spring loaded, but we're gonna, while we're in it, replace its little cap looking gasket there. Because if we're in here, you might as well do everything. I was going to get a lot of the surface rust off of it. I'm not really trying to get it pristine, but the less rust in there, the better, because then it's not circulating through. Alrighty, so we got our new screen on. Now, I gotta figure out how to compress it. Does it compress? Question is, how the hell do you get it in there? So solve the problem with the rod being too short. Before you put anything on, grab the bottom of it below the gasket. I'll pop our little valve in there.
Oh yeah, it's much better.
Our bushing. And then we're going to pop a new clip on to hold it. Oop.
Oh, what happened?
The clip is barely on there. We would have lost it if it wasn't. And that would have sucked. but I just lost my hold on that rod down there. We're gonna pop it on. There we go. All right, so we are on.
Success.
Let's fold our gasket back over the lip. Make sure we're nice and snug on there. Okay. So now we can resume our full reassembly. So we got our cover, and we want to make sure it's got a couple little notches in it. You got two big and one very shallow. The shallow one's going to go over where the wire comes in. We're going to do our thick washer, our spring washer, thin washer, and then pop our actual valve in there. And now we are good to reassemble. So we went in like that, and our plug was facing out, otherwise you're not gonna have room on the firewall. So we're just gonna put you in here and screw you back down. And one of these new valves, I believe, is like 300 something bucks. The kit is like 15 to 20 at the current time.
At the current time of January 1st, 2023.
All right, so we are back in one piece. And
I just got one thing to ask you.
yes,
Is it in tune?
let's put our hoses back on. You know what?
What happened?
Piece is stuck in there.
No, it snapped.
Yeah. So I'm hoping there's still enough of like a
A grip.
grip on there. I was putting the
How long
clamp
do you
in.
think it's been broken though?
Probably just now, to be honest. It's still got a neck on it, so I can bring the clamp in here, and we'll be good.
Just looking at it, I could be convinced that it's been that way for
You
a while.
think? Okay.
But I don't know.
And if it leaks down the road, JB weld that shit.
Silicone that bitch. What scenario was that?
That was
That wasn't
someone.
an AA run, was it?
No, that was John from 963. You never met him, I don't think. He was a red shirt, but a guy called late at night, and he's like, I need an oil pan gasket. And it was one of those that doesn't have a pan gasket. You have to make it. So the guy asked, he's like, well, what do you suppose I do? And he's like, I don't know, man. I just silicone that bitch. Give it just a little bit. 'Cause we're going to watch some.
Are you gonna crank it with the cap open?
Yeah, because if there's any kind of air pockets,
It'll
yeah, that's
Push it
kind of
out.
that makes sure I don't have to take a hose off and burp it. I've got a bleeder valve here that comes in real handy for changing the thermostat. But since we were all back here, I'm just going to open this one up because this hose goes directly to it pretty much.
Sweet.
We'll let it get to 10 and make sure we got no leaks on either of these hoses. And then we'll try the actual heater valve whenever we take it for a run.
Sweet. Alright, seen any leaks? Everything's still dry.
It's still dry. I had a little spill from a burp I gave it, but other than that, the valve itself appears to be working and not leaking.
So the issue before is when you revved it up, it would just go cold.
Yeah, you'd basically be driving along, cruising along, having heat, and then as soon as you put your foot in it a little bit or more, it'd get cold. And then you had to wait for either cruising or idling to get hot again.
All right, let's go test it out.
So we'll see.
Wait, what? What was that?
So
I was like, you gonna leave that thing open?
It's got a lever down in the driver footwell, and that both releases it and locks it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.